A man's brain suddenly detonates, not physically but conceptually, and in that instant, everything he knows about reality collapses. A hidden switch flips inside his mind, granting him an impossible superpower, the ability to lie. To test it, he stops a blonde woman on a busy street and calmly tells her that she must sleep with him or the world will end immediately. He braces for anger or disgust, but instead she pauses and asks whether they should go to a hotel or do it right there. This reaction makes perfect sense in this world, because this is a world without lies, where honesty is not a moral choice, but an absolute rule. In this world, people speak exactly what they think. Asking for leave at work means openly admitting laziness. Advertising is brutally straightforward. Soda companies announce their drinks are unhealthy, full of sugar, guaranteed to cause weight gain, and completely unnecessary, yet customers will buy them anyway. If a baby is ugly, friends and relatives are forced to say it directly. There is no kindness in language, because kindness requires deception. Movies do not exist, fiction is impossible, and actors are unnecessary, because pretending to be someone else is the greatest lie of all. Television programs can only discuss history, facts, and records of what truly happened. The man who breaks this rigid world is Dashan, a struggling screenwriter whose job barely makes sense in a society like this. All his scripts are historical tragedies, wars, famines, epidemics, and human suffering. His boss finds them depressing and useless and fires him without hesitation. Dashan feels wronged. He didn't invent these stories, history did. But truth offers no comfort. With no job, no income, and rent due, $800 when he has only $300, Dashan is pushed to the edge. Desperate, he goes to the bank to withdraw his last savings. The system suddenly crashes, and the clerk casually tells him to just say how much he wants. At that exact moment, desperation unlocked something forbidden deep in Dashan's mind. He opens his mouth and tells the first lie this world has ever known. Seconds later, the system recovers and shows his true balance. Instead of accusing Dashan, the clerk assumes the machine is faulty. In a world of absolute honesty, a technical error is more believable than human dishonesty. Dashan immediately realizes what he has become. He tells his best friend, a hopeless alcoholic, whose understanding of reality nearly collapses when he hears about lying. The concept is so foreign that Dashan must demonstrate it repeatedly. Though shaken, Dashan decides to embrace his power. Together, they begin testing its limits. During a DUI stop, Dashan lies, and a corrupt police officer is instantly overwhelmed with crushing guilt, apologizing as if he has committed an unforgivable sin. They soon enter a casino, where lies turn into tools of domination. Dashan distracts crowds, swaps chips, and wins without resistance. His friend claims a machine malfunctioned after a jackpot, and the manager apologizes profusely and pays double to make up for the imagined failure. Money becomes effortless. One night on their way home, they encounter a neighbor who has decided to commit suicide. Instead of greed, compassion takes over. A simple lie, "Life will get better soon," is enough to pull the man back from the edge. Watching this, Dashan realizes something terrifying and beautiful. Lies can destroy, but they can also save lives. From that moment on, Dashan lies to help others. He secures money for a homeless man by inventing an interplanetary water project. He comforts abandoned elders by promising their families will return. He reconciles couples on the brink of separation. Each lie reduces suffering, and the sense of power and purpose becomes addictive. Eventually, Dashan turns his attention back to himself. He fabricates an ancient manuscript, stains it with coffee to make it appear old, and presents it to a television station as a family historical record. He tells a dramatic story about a once powerful nation called the United States, destroyed by arrogance and global retaliation. Executives are stunned. Employees gather in silence. When the story ends, applause fills the room. Dashan becomes the most respected writer in the country. With fame and status restored, Dashan returns to love. He confesses his feelings to Ann Lee, believing success will finally outweigh appearance. She tries to accept him, but cannot overcome her obsession with looks and rejects him once again. Soon after, tragedy strikes. Dashan's mother is dying in the hospital, terrified of death and the unknown. For the first time, Dashan lies not for money or power, but purely for love. He tells her about heaven, a place of peace, youth, freedom, and reunion. Comforted by the lie, she dies smiling. The story spreads uncontrollably. Media surrounds Dashan. Crowds gather outside his home, desperate to know more about heaven, meaning, and the afterlife. Forced to respond, Dashan invents God, a being who controls fate and disasters. When anger and doubt arise, he reshapes the lie. Only good people go to heaven, while bad people fall into hell. The explanation satisfies the masses. Faith is born, and Dashan reaches the absolute peak of influence. Confident in his power, he confesses his love to Anne Lee one final time. She wants to believe, but fear stops her. She worries their children will inherit his looks. For the first time since gaining his ability, Dashan refuses to lie. He realizes that love built on deception is hollow. They separate. Years later, fate brings them together again. They build a quiet life and have their own child. One day, the child tastes something sweet, smiles, and tells a small, innocent lie. The second liar in the world has been born, and from that moment on, the perfectly honest world can never return to what it once was.